it's Jen from Not So Mystical Tarot. This is going to be your reading for the time starting around the weekend, around the 6th of September, Friday the 6th of September, throughout that weekend. You can find me on Instagram at Not So Mystical Tarot or notsomysticaltarot.com if you'd like a personal or a private reading. All of the different signs will be timestamped in the description and also in the first pinned comment. I would suggest watching your moon and rising signs because this is a general reading, okay? All right, let's get started with our Aries. We've got the Five of Cups, and this one, and the Six of Swords. Okay, Aries, it's very clear here that there's been some sort of disappointment, or maybe even in the past there was a disappointment, but the thing is, it's time to move on from that. You've got the 3 cups here that are spilled, but there's 2 cups here that are upright, and the Six of Swords always speaks to moving from a place of like drama or upset or things that aren't going right and moving to a place of calmer waters, more peacefulness, more happiness. So this person here has a choice. You can focus here on the cups that are spilled, or you can focus on the cups that are upright. So we're just going to get a little bit more information as far as this goes, and we will see what we have for you. So we're going to not focus on the bad things. We're going to move away from this stuff that is not currently serving us. Now, you have the Emperor coming up, and the Emperor, think about it. Does the Emperor focus on the things that didn't go well, or does he turn and focus on the things that are going well, and does he make good choices to make good things happen? So I think that's I think that answer is pretty self-explanatory there. I think you know that if something did not go well, did not go right in the past, this is a time to fix it. Maybe this weekend is a time for self-care, or a time just to find a way to move on from whatever it was that didn't go well. Now, you also have the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles can be a miserly card, but in this instance, I really think it's just about sort of evaluating what you have going on, not giving too much of yourself to anyone else. I think this is just a weekend for self-care. I think it's a weekend to evaluate where you are, where you're going in your relationships, even financially, and just say, you know, am I doing the right things? If maybe you made a financial mistake, you know, it can be any of these things, but just finding a way to move past that, maybe forgive yourself, but definitely take inventory of what's happening and find a way to move on from that. That's healthy, a healthy way to move on from that. Okay? All right, we're going to go to our Taurus watchers. Taurus, we've got the Knight of Pentacles coming up for you in the Ten of Cups. This is really nice to see. It looks like here, Ten of Cups is about happiness, union, maybe family gatherings, reunions, just all in all, just really good feelings, low drama. Knight of Pentacles tells us this has taken a really long time. The Pentacles, the Knight especially, he is the slowest moving energy in the deck. So it could be that you've been waiting quite a while for this to happen. So if you've got plans for this weekend, enjoy them. Enjoy the people that you're with. Spend time with the people that you love, and just take it for what it is. Don't try to make it into anything else. Don't try to overanalyze. Just, you've waited a long time for this. Take the time and really enjoy those people around. Wow. Yeah, and you have the Ten of Cups again. So it looks like you really have the opportunity to have a really wonderful, happy, amazing weekend time, and really take advantage of that. See that for what it is, like I said, and it may be a time too, and I don't know who this is for, I was just going to say to put old things to rest. And then you have the Seven of Wands here, and that is kind of about people not quite getting you, maybe giving you a hard time, and you just kind of are like, yeah, no thanks. Even during this weekend, if that happens, you know, family members, whatever, relationships, people sometimes say things that really are not supportive. Instead of engaging that in you know, that negative thing and kind of getting caught up in that, just say yep, no thanks, and try to move on. Try to preserve this Ten of Cups happy energy, because you've waited a long time for it, and you know, don't let anyone or anything disturb that that feeling for you. Okay? All right, we're going to move on to our Geminis. What do we have for Gemini? Three of Swords, Gemini, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, Three of Swords, disappointment, heartbreak, something that didn't go well. I feel here like, Gemini, you're an air sign, sort of for the air signs, that you're focusing on something that either disappointed you or something that you feel you did wrong or someone did wrong to you. The thing is, with the Wheel of Fortune, it says, your luck is about to change. And I'm sure you've heard me say the universe doesn't just barf good luck on people. Your luck changes because you make good choices. So I would say, look at this Three of Swords, this thing that didn't go right, this thing that didn't seem, it just didn't go the way you had planned it to go. Look at that and say, how can I make a different choice for a different outcome? And that's the opportunity that you have this weekend. And it may be a time for self-reflection this weekend. It may be a time to kind of look at your situation and say, okay, that didn't go right. I mean, it could be through no fault of your own. It could be that maybe you trusted someone, they lied to you. It could be you made a bad financial decision. Whatever this thing is that's kind of in the back of your mind, it is time to say, okay, I'm going to learn from that. I'm going to make good choices now, and good stuff is going to happen. Let's get a little more info here. Ooh, we've got the Five of Wands. So this is something that you, I think, don't want to deal with, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be earth-shattering, but it's just like you would rather like maybe play on your phone, watch TV, have a nap, numb out with like some beer and pizza. It could be anything like that, but it does seem like this is something that you kind of just don't want to deal with. Like you're like, ugh, yuck, don't want to handle it. The Five of Wands a lot of times is time-wasting behavior. So let's try to avoid the time-wasting behavior and really handle that for this weekend. Find a way, find some time alone and handle this and really resolve to make good choices so that good things happen. Yeah, and you've got the Five of Cups here as well. Really, you've got these 3 cups spilled out, okay, and then the 2 cups that are upright. You're not the only sign that's gotten this. So you see that he's focusing on these 3 cups that are spilled out. And of course, that's going to be upsetting, and mentally it's very draining. But he has the choice to turn and focus on the 2 cups that are upright. These are the good choices that you can make. You've got the Three of Swords, the disappointment, heartache, heartbreak, whatever it is, and then the emotional fallout with these 3 of Cups. So you have the opportunity to turn and do something different. And I would suggest that you take every moment that you can this weekend and focus on that, on writing that around, making good choices, because inevitably it is you that chooses what happens in your life, okay? All right, we'll move on to Cancer. Cancer, we've got the Knight of Pentacles showing up for you. Ooh, and the Wheel of Fortune. So, I always talk about the Wheel of Fortune in the fact that, yes, it means your luck is changing, good things are coming for you, good things are happening. However, I always remind you of this, that the universe does not just kind of like throw good luck at certain people and then other people get the shit out of the stick. It doesn't work like that. It's about the choices that you make. But I do feel here that there are good things coming for you, and it's been a long time coming. That Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving energy in the entire deck. So it has been a long time coming, and you are, I think, at a point of gratitude, like, wow, thank you so much. I have been through it, but now I'm making different choices and good things are happening. And I think it's a lesson that might have been hard to learn, but you've got it now. And you're like, yeah, I'm all clear. I've got this. I'm going to make good choices. You have the Queen of Wands coming up here. And the Queen of Wands, one thing I love about her, she's very successful. She's very... People want to be around her, but the thing about the Queen of Wands is she does her own thing. She doesn't care what anybody else thinks, and that's the only way that you will get here, where you're having these good things happen to you, is when you're doing what you want to do. I mean, obviously not hurting other people, but when you're doing the things that are good for you, and you're not really paying attention to other people's issues or their opinions, because when you do that, it skews what you really truly want. You follow what you want, do your own thing, let that kind of lead you, and then the good things do come. And then you have here the Seven of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles is about being deliberate and being choosy, not just taking whatever comes your way. And again, this is what we're talking about, following what you really want and being really choosy about it. And like I said, this has been a long time coming. This is not something that has just occurred to you suddenly and now you're like, oh, I'm going to change my life. This has been something that's been on the back burner, but now is the time that you can actually implement these changes. So that's what you've got going on, Cancer. All right, we're going to move on to our Leos. What do we have for Leo? Leo, we have got the Fool coming up for you, Leo. And the Moon. Ooh, okay. You have an opportunity, Leo, to do something completely different, to follow a dream, a passion this weekend, something that you maybe thought you would never get to do, something that you thought maybe this isn't for me, but you always, I feel like it's been in the back of your mind that you've always been like, ooh, that seems kind of cool, but you haven't actually entertained it. Now, the one thing I want to say is you have the moon, and I love the moon card, but remember, things look different by the light of day. So before you leap off this cliff, you just want to make sure that you've examined whatever this opportunity is from all sides, okay? You just want to make sure that you are paying attention to, that you're not glossing over something. You know how a lot of times we have a little bit of a red flag about something, but we're like, I can ignore that. And then in a couple of months, you're like, what was I thinking? That's what I want you to really look at here before you make any kind of leaps. And I'm not saying that whatever's offered to you is terrible. I'm just saying before you leap anywhere, just examine it from all sides. Wait until the light of day shines brightly upon whatever this is before you jump into anything. Now, you also have the King of Pentacles coming up, which is, wishes and dreams fulfilled in your career, money, finance, home environment, physicality, your physical fitness. So it really looks like you have an opportunity here to reach some goals that you've had for yourself within the tangible world. And it's extremely tempting, I know. So like I said, it doesn't mean that it's bad, but just make sure that you look at everything that's offered to you. You have the World coming up as well, and that says to me that you may have more than one opportunity. So I think that's why you have the moon here, because you have more than one opportunity that comes to you during this weekend or this period of a few days or whatever. So you don't want to just take the first thing that comes along, because you have more than one thing coming. So that's why I'm saying examine it by the light of day as well. See which is the best opportunity, which is the best for you to help you reach your goals and fulfill your dreams, passions, career, like I said, money, finance, physical well-being, home environment, whatever it is, and then take the thing that suits you the very best, okay? All right, we're going to move on to our Virgos. What do we have for our Virgos? Ooh, Virgo has the moon coming up and the Seven of Wands. Okay, Virgo. Now, this is actually not surprising for me, because you always have a tendency to see things as you give everybody a chance. Whoever comes into your world, you don't immediately go, oh, I don't like you, or you seem like a jerk, or you seem like a thief, or you seem bad. You always say, you know what, I'm going to give this person a chance, just like, like they're freshly born and I don't know anything about them. And sometimes that can be a downfall of the Virgo, because you are so good and you do things so correctly. You give everybody so many chances. All I'm saying here is to examine whatever comes towards you by the light of day before you just open yourself up to share with other people or to trust other people. Now, here you have the Seven of Wands, and the Seven of Wands a lot of times is you kind of vibrating up on your higher plane, and you do that anyway, Virgo. So a lot of times people will kind of attack you. Oh, you seem crazy. Like if you exercise, you don't skip days, you work really hard. People go, oh, you're crazy, because they're not where you are. They just don't understand. And I think you have a very good grip on that. And I notice here, with this, you aren't like clacking around with them. You're not running down the hill to engage. You're just like, yeah, no thanks. You have a really great way about you of just being like, yeah, I'm not interested in engaging with you. And you can just kind of turn and burn from them. But like I'm saying, be careful who you let in, because you don't need this aggravation, right? Like you don't need to get into it with other people. You don't need to give them an opportunity to give you a hassle. Hey, Seven of Wands again. Yeah, so there is something coming toward you that will provide you, I feel, with more aggravation than it's worth. It may seem on the outside to be good and to be like, oh, this will work out great. And, at face value, that might be the case. But when you get right into it, it's just aggravating. And you just don't have time for it. So I want to say, really caution you this weekend before you get involved with anything, to just not open yourself up too much, because you got two of these here, and it just means people are going to give you some crap and you're not in the mood. You also have the Judgment card coming up, And judgment to me is like, you say what you're going to say, and then you walk away, okay? So, like, when you say, yeah, no thanks, I'm not interested, or, hey, thanks for that thought, but, you know, I'm going to do my own thing over here, be done with it. As judgment, it sits, it's just the way it is, and people can get with you, or they can get away from you, and either way, it really doesn't matter. You're going to do what you need to do anyway. So, like, let the chips kind of fall where they may. You take care of yourself this weekend, all right? We're going to move on to our Virgos, or not Virgos, I'm sorry, our Libras. Libra, we have got the Six of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. Libra, you are experiencing some kind of abundance, whether personally or in your career or financial life. This isn't always about like money. This can be your physical well-being. It can be your environment. It can just be some accomplishments that you've made, but you're experiencing some kind of abundance. And you also have an opportunity here with the Knight of Cups. There's a lot of emotion around whatever this is. And you have an opportunity to give back and maybe reach down and help someone else along the path where you've already had success. So you have the Ace of Swords coming up with that, which aces are opportunities. And here, swords are all about logic. In Libra, you are the swords, so you do use your head all the time anyway. But what we're talking about here is being really smart before you jump into this giving back. And I'm not saying to not give to people, not to help people or anything like that. I'm just saying don't throw your pearls at swine. You know that old saying, like, don't squander the abundance that you do have on people that don't care, or things that just aren't worth your time. And that's the thing, you could get caught up emotionally and not be using your logical brain, because the cups are emotions. So let's just pay attention to that. And you do have the Nine of Pentacles, which is more wishes, dreams fulfilled. So it looks like if you are able to use your head and sort out drama or something that is just emotionally pulling at you that doesn't really make sense, if you can sort everything out, it looks like you giving back will in turn give back to you. You progress here to this Nine of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles is about really achieving success, seeing even more results than you had started out with. So I really feel like this could be a great weekend to kind of figure out how you can give back, examine the different opportunities, but also, like I say, be very careful and be logical in your choices, because you don't want to squander what you've worked so hard for. All right. Moving on to our Scorpios. What do we have for Scorpio this weekend? Scorpio, the Fool. Somebody else got this too. And the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, this is kind of a theme for some of the signs. You are going to have an opportunity this weekend to do something different, and something that I think has been in the back of your mind for a while. So you may want to watch Moon and Rising, because, like I said, it's kind of a little bit of a theme going through some of these readings. Now, aces are opportunities, and pentacles are career, money, finance, your physical well-being, your environment, your home, your organization. It can be any of those tangible things you can put your hands on, but there's some opportunity being presented to you, and it looks here like you have kind of been looking for this for a while. This is not something that's a big shock to you. It may be a shock that it shows up, but be ready, because you don't want to miss out on this. Oh, look at what you've got to go with, the Emperor. Now, the Emperor, think about it. He makes smart choices, right? He doesn't just leap off a cliff without paying attention to the consequences. And I'm not saying with the Fool that you should always think, oh, there could be a consequence, I better not do it. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying be smart about, I know there's the, you don't want to dumb down the things the universe is providing for you, but you also do need to use your brain. So just don't get too caught up in emotion. Make sure that you're using your logical thinking, and don't miss out on what's coming toward you, because I really feel like there's something major coming for you in this tangible realm. You also have the Eight of Swords, which is funny because I just said use your logical brain. This is like about being in a prison of your own making. This is like la 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 la. I don't want to deal with this. I don't see what's happening. Well, the thing is, when these opportunities do present themselves, they're only there for so long. So you're going to have to take the blindfold off and walk out of that prison of your own making, that prison of your mind where you're like, I just don't want to deal with this. Because if you don't, it will pass you by. So I don't want to see you miss out on something that could be really beneficial to you this weekend. So definitely keep an eye out for that, and let me know what you find out, what you have come towards you. All right, we're going to move on to our Sagittarians. What do you got for Sagittarius? Ooh, the Queen of Swords and the Ace of Cups. Ooh, okay. It does look like here you have an opportunity to be open to possibly a new relationship. It could be to healing from an old relationship or from an old, I don't know, this feels like a piece of drama, something that happened to you. But you also have the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords, logic. She is the judge, she's like the Judge Judy of the deck, okay? You're not going to put anything by her, and that's the thing. There is a time to repair and renew, and that's kind of a theme for this weekend. And so watch your moon and rising. There is a time for repairing, renewing, sort of feeling your way toward a different way of conducting yourself, but you definitely don't want to get so caught up in this that you're not using your logical brain. You know, like they say that I really definitely feel this is for you, that you can forgive someone but not forget. Like when you can forgive them because they just do what they do and whatever, and if you hold on to that like hatred and you don't forgive them, it just kind of eats you up. But you don't have to forget. Like you don't have to splay yourself out to be hurt constantly by whatever this situation is. Now, you also have the Eight of Pentacles, which shows hard work. So I feel like this is something you can see here that you have been working on, if not in the forefront of your mind, maybe in the back of your mind. This is something that you've kind of been working on, sort of slowly, kind of chipping away at it, but diligently really trying to work on. And that's why I feel like there's some kind of healing here. I don't necessarily feel like, there's like some kind of big relationship coming. I feel like it's more of an emotional opportunity for healing, kind of to move forward. And you've been working on it, and the results are clear. Like you're working on yourself. And by working on yourself, you're healing other things that maybe you didn't even expect. And you also have the Justice card coming. So another sword you see, and another opportunity again. Maybe you need to bring this old, whatever this was, bring this, like they say, bring it to justice, kind of figure it out, think about it a little bit, and really say, this happened, this didn't happen. Sometimes we can embellish in our minds or make things worse than they were as well, and we can actually impede our healing by doing that. So really look at the situation and say, what really happened? How did this really turn out? Is this really, am I seeing this the way that it really was, or am I over dramatizing this? But either way, see it for what it is, judge it for what it is, put it in its box, and move on. It is definitely time for some healing for you and for moving forward in a different way. All right. I'm going to move on as well to our Capricorns. Capricorn, ooh, Nine of Pentacles, I love that, and the Three of Cups. And I know I'm forever telling you guys to go out and socialize, right, and to go find your vibe with your tribe. This is all about vibing with your tribe, being with the people who are like you. But here, you're showing an immense amount of success, whether it's financial, career, money, financial success, or whether it's having to do with your organization of like your home, your office, even your physical well-being, you taking care of yourself, following an exercise program, whatever it is, something in your tangible world is showing success. And it's happening because you are vibing with your tribe. You're with people who are like-minded. Now, if you're not vibing with your tribe and you're wanting to find this kind of like success in a certain area that you have goals, this is the time to find these people. Because it, and like, you don't have to go out and be super social. I'm always trying to drag you Capricorns out of the house. But you could find people online that you can, that way when you want to socialize, you can. And then when you need to back off, you can. But find people that are doing what you're doing, that understand how you are, so that you can either achieve this success or continue this success, okay? Really important to be able to find that kind of a network, so you have people who get you, who you can kind of celebrate with when the rest of the people in your world are like, huh? Now, you also have the Death card coming up, and I think what we have going on here is you going, oh, I don't want to find those people. I'm not interested in finding these people. Or it's talking about expanding from the small circle you have to the bigger, maybe more people, and you're going, oh, I'm not doing that. It is time to let go of that. It is time to let go of that. I'm not saying you have to leap into like Toastmasters where you're talking in front of large groups of people, or you're engaging with in a networking kind of a way where you're engaging with a ton of people at once. But it is saying look for ways to increase the tribe that you have that gets you. Now, you also have the Two of Wands, and that's about just doing something now. This isn't about your oh, down the road, I'm going to do this, and I'm promising I'll do that, and I'm promising to do this. This is like this week, this month, I'm going to accomplish these couple things. And this, I feel like it has to do with you stepping out. And I'm always, like I said, I'm always trying to drag you guys out of your comfort zone, but I feel like it does have to do with you stepping outside of that comfort zone and moving forward to an area where you are with more people who really, truly get you. And I know, I'm kind of the same way. It's weird, I know. All right, we'll move on to Aquarius. Ooh, dropping my cards. What do we have? The Hanged Man, Aquarius. And the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, it is time. There is some situation. I almost feel like we're being a little too choosy. I'm an Aquarius, so just if I say we, that's why. Seven of Pentacles is about being super choosy, and you see he's got this pentacle on the ground, and he's like, yeah, I'm not picking that up. And that's cool. And I always say, don't pick up the rotten apple off the ground when there's a whole tree of ripe, nice apples in front of you, right? Why would you pick up the rotten apple just because it showed up? Well, the other thing, too, is we can get to a point where we're so choosy that we don't do anything. And that's why I think we need to look at everything a little bit differently maybe than we have. I do feel like there's a possibility that we've gotten a little bit rigid in some respects about what we will or will not accept, or about what we can or cannot have. And so we don't look outside of the box. We're just staring down at this one thing that we don't want to pick up. But there's a whole tree here of other things. So it is important to look at things from a little bit different of a perspective. Now, you have the Four of Swords. You are the swords. Logical brain. This is about taking a step back, though. This is about taking a step back, evaluating what you have going on, really determining, is this for me? Does this make sense? Am I stalling my own progress by being just so picky, and so I can't for this, I can't because of that, I can't because of this? Am I making excuses to not move forward? Really important that we look at this. And then you have the Queen of Wands, which is really great because notice he has a wand in his hand right here, right? So you have the Queen of Wands now, and the Queen of Wands, she really gets stuff done, and she really digs her life. So I think with this Queen of Wands, it's just saying, listen, you know what? Look really deep inside and say, what do I really want? And then you pick up whatever you want. Pick up the apple if you really want it. If you don't want it, don't. But do something. Do something that like moves you and propels you forward. Don't just sit and choose to be choosy and not choose anything. Okay, I really think that that's what's going on. Maybe there's like a little bit of stagnation there in some area of your life, that it's kind of important to look at it and go, where am I not progressing? Okay. All right, and we're going to move on to our Pisces. Seven of Swords, Pisces. What else? And the Emperor. Okay. I really feel like this is a person in your life, this Emperor. There's somebody in your life who kind of calls the shots, who kind of runs the show. And I really feel like you allow this because you don't have all of the information that you need, and you're just not taking the time to get it. Like, you could make your own choices and you could take care of your own business, but because you don't have all the information, that's kind of the excuse to hang in the background and let someone else kind of run the show and let someone else dictate what you're going to do with your life. And I mean, this can be anything, this Seven of Swords. This can be like hiding behind like, I'm sick, or, oh, I don't know, or I don't know, I haven't researched that, so I'm just going to sit here. I feel like there's something that you're using as kind of like a crutch to not get out there and not make your own decisions. Now, you also have this Four of Pentacles, which, you know, miser card, yeah, but also it's about being like so conservative and frugal, and that you're not doing anything at all, that you're just kind of being, you know, you're not investing in yourself, you're just kind of in a operating from a point of lack, from a place of lack, where I don't have anything, I can't. Not ever looking to what you can do, but looking to what you can't have, can't do, can't be part of. All right, we also have the Five of Cups. So it looks like this stems from some kind of a disappointment, but you got to learn to let go of that, okay? You're focusing on the things that did not go right and saying, well, I just don't know. I can't do this anymore. But you have two things here that are upright, and you have the opportunity to do different, to be different, to get different. So it's up to you to make that choice, to turn, to get the information, find out what's going on, realize that you're not in a place of lack, and put yourself out in a different perspective, and disallow allow whoever is currently running the show to run your life. It's time for you to run your own life. And so this weekend may be a time to kind of look deep inside and say, like, what am I not taking care of? What part of my business am I not handling? That's what we have for you. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will talk to you all soon.